Welcome back. We were talking about how you can use mobile payment gateways for mutual fund transactions. Sandeep, you were telling us that you've actually done a pilot. So just explain to us how does the money actually flow, and explain to us how does the information in all of this flow and how you can use that information to provide better solutions to your clients.
See, when we have launched this particular product for investing via SMS, A, you need to get the client onboarded. B, the bank should agree to debit the client's account upon receipt of an instruction. C, once active, the client will then send an SMS. 4, it goes to an aggregator. 5, it then gets pushed into our registrar. As a result of which, I know exactly how much has come to the aggregator, I know how much of that has finally come into the registrar, and I can reconcile the two and find out if there's been any drop in between. Since I always at any point of time know which mobile number has used that service, should there ever be a drop, I actually pick up the phone and speak to that investor.
Well, interesting. Mr. Joshi, you look after distribution. This is a pilot study that we're talking about. Do you see this as having good potential to ramp up? Where do you see the pitfalls in this?
No pitfalls really, if you ask me. But from opportunity point of view, when we look at mobile as a platform, and especially our fund house believes in growing in tier 3 and tier 4 markets, wherein if SIP is my way of acquiring new clients, I see a great opportunity with this mobile platform wherein you could aggregate money into mutual fund in a seamless manner with the help of IMPS. So if I'm able to get this money from tier 3, tier 4 locations in a seamless manner into mutual fund, my cost of transaction, right, from a AMC point of view, drops significantly. I'm able to reconcile those transactions on a 24-48 hour basis post the receipt of that transaction, and in the process I'm able to provide superior service delivery to that investor.
That's an interesting point. Edwin, I'd like your view on this. Really, the fact that the target market, or the market which is sub 1,000 rupees, in an SIP, in a systematic investment plan, if every month an investor cannot put more than 1,000, it becomes financially very, very challenging to try and get that customer on board profitably. Do you see this as being a solution to that?
It does make sense. It will enable us to penetrate these tier 4, 5, or those cities. Still, I think that the main challenge which is left for us in those cities is the KYC documentation. So the first onboarding of a customer, that is still a challenging thing in the rural areas, where I don't see m-commerce contributing at this point in time. Maybe later on, where we can use the KYC that the bank has done to basically indirect do our own KYC. That's when you really see a huge takeoff.
Between this, Praveen, you say that distribution is going to be really key. There's standard agent distribution networks that we have in place as we know them today. You also have alternate distribution, possibly frameworks that you can see, or skeletons that could be piggybacked on. This problem of KYC norms for rural clients is a very real challenge today. Can this system help in that?
Absolutely, because we could look at this as a mechanism to disintermediate brokers and advisors, or one could actually leverage them, or one could look for not traditional brokers.
So let's do step by step.
Yeah.
We're talking about disintermediation of current agents and distribution networks. How would it work? You mean that the mutual fund directly accesses the client through the banking IMPS system?
If one were to look at disintermediation, then one would look at the way your internet investments happen, right? So which means that the investor accesses the fund house directly and provides the investment and redemption instructions directly to the fund house. But probably in phase 1, it would be wise to use the intermediaries and leverage on the distribution they have to create the awareness and the usage of this product.
So that again, a big question is really what is the role that the agent plays or the distributor plays in choosing a financial service, especially in mutual funds. There's a lot of advice that the broker gives to the investor. So necessarily, which is the correct way to do it? Would you like disintermediation here? Mr. Joshi, what is your view on this? Do you think we need to go on it where you expect to have direct contact with your investor, or would you still think that the aggregators are the ones that need to be educated and still be the go-between for mobile transactions?
See, at the end of the day, we firmly believe it's our partners who help us reach out to those investors. And for this kind of initiative, to popularize this, to take it to those tier 3, tier 4, we clearly need support from partners. So we would like this journey to be traveled along with partners, make them aware of features, conveniences that it brings to investor, and at the same time for partner, if our service delivery improves, he is the one who's biggest beneficiary, because then to that extent his servicing of the client gets reduced to that extent, and he can focus on getting new business for us.
So you would like him to be
absolutely partner in our progress.
Now, we were talking about the product that Sandeep mentioned about, which you can do actually on your cell phone. Interestingly enough, it's something that you can do also with your bank accounts. Is when you have a lot of free cash or idle cash in your savings bank account, you can either sweep it into a fixed deposit facility. A similar kind of facility is what Sandeep tried to offer his clients. So tell us a little bit more, Sandeep, in terms of not just the immediate benefit of an investor being able to, at any time of day or night, putting in that SMS to say that so much money can be transferred from my savings bank into a liquid fund where it's obviously earning much higher returns. But more than that, there's much more to be offered on the plate, on the back of this product.
Investors are not really very, very comfortable as yet on certain times that the redemption might get rejected, and therefore while the AMCs will take the money in, but they will not give it out that easily. But your mobile will actually make that completely agnostic. So it's a SMS, and this is, I think, the biggest power, the convenience and the trust that really we can give to the client, that they can withdraw at any point of time that they want, and there will be no manual intervention in between for that redemption to actually happen. And your bank account will get credited in 24 hours for liquid fund, 24 working hours, and on a T+3 basis for equity funds.